In the light of the dubious run-out of Jos Buttler the other night, I thought it'd be worth doing a list of cricket's 10 most unsavoury incidents. Well, you may have thought that sharp tactics and gamesmanship in cricket was a modern phenomenon. You'd be wrong. There was plenty of mucky business going on in the 18th century, and in 1882, W.G. Grace, the legendary cricketer and notorious cheat, ran out Sammy Jones, the Australian number 7, when he was going down the pitch gardening. He had just gone down to pat down the pitch, and Grace, standing at the stumps, whipped off the bails. He appealed. The umpire said, "If you deem it to be out, sir, then it be out." That decision incurred the wrath of the famous demon Frederick Spofford, the fast bowler from Australia, who took 7 for 44 when England were chasing 85 for victory, bowled them out for 77, and Australia won for the first time in England. A victory which actually in the end brought about the mock obituary in the Times and the origin of the Ashes. Number 9 is a much more recent incident, and in fact it also took place at the Oval. It features Grant Elliot of New Zealand and Ryan Sidebottom of England, who collide in mid-pitch as Sidebottom is seeking the ball and Elliot is seeking a single. Elliot, lying flat on his back, is then run out by the England fielders, and after much discussion, Paul Collingwood, the England captain, decides to uphold the umpire's decision, and Elliot is on his way. Lots of flack descended on England, and in fact Paul Collingwood in the end said it was the biggest regret of his career that he didn't overturn the decision and allow the batsman to stay. The next two incidents feature altercations between players, real bust-ups, the first of which starts with an Australian fast bowler, Mitchell Starc, bowling a pretty good bouncer to Kieron Pollard, but then rather unnecessarily following it up with a few words, and they weren't "Can I buy you dinner?" either. Pollard waves him away dismissively, but what happened next was pretty regrettable. Starc runs into bowl, but Pollard, probably wanting to annoy Starc, pulls away quite early. Unbelievably, Starc follows him way down the leg side. Now, you've heard of Pollard's fame for throwing the bat, but not like this. And had the umpires not stepped in, it could have escalated into a full-scale brawl. Number 7 was a potentially nastier bust-up between two players, Javed Miandad and Lillee, in the late 70s.
Again full and again flicked away on the leg side.
You can see Lillee slightly impeding Miandad as he goes for a quick single, then aiming a kick at Miandad, who'd obviously said something, and Miandad actually threatening to wrap the bat round Lillee, and it was lucky that the umpire intervened, otherwise it could have been a really nasty situation. Number 6 was the infamous spat between Mike Gatting and the umpire Shaka Rana in Pakistan, which began when Gatting apparently moved a fielder behind the batsman's back. Actually, all he was doing was telling the fielder to stop, but umpire Rana took exception to whatever Gatting was doing, and there followed a version of pointing and poking between the fielder and the umpire, which has never been seen before on a cricket field or any other sports field for that matter. The upshot was nearly an abandonment of the tour, and eventually Gatting was sacked for this misdemeanour, although actually the reason that he was sacked was because he'd taken a woman to his room. Ian Botham leapt to his defence, of course, and said that it couldn't have been Gatting because anything he takes to his room, he eats.